Hello, Com 1313. My name is Fisher Parks, and today I'm doing my persuasive speech in Maple South study room. Today I'll be doing my speech over artificial intelligence and why I believe it has negative effects on basically everything it touches. Artificial intelligence, also known as AI, is something that's a technology we don't really understand completely yet. AI is more on the side of something that's more in development right now than anything we've ever experienced before, just because of the sheer possibilities that it has. AI is something as well that we don't really understand completely. It's something that we don't know what we can do with it, what we can do without it. AI is obviously a positive in some lights, but to me and what I've understood is it's a complete negative, and I do not like the way it affects everybody. So I'm going to try to persuade my audience to understand why it's a negative thing and why we should not really support it as much as we do, just because of the sheer possibilities of what could happen and the negatives that can ensue from that. My first thing to talk about is who dies. This is a broad topic because we have drones that can fly themselves, or people that can control those drones. We use in the military, which those go to kill people or have surveillance on people that they don't really. I'm sure we don't completely watch them without restrictions and stuff, but we in the military have used drones to spy on people in other countries, our own countries as well, actually, for terrorists and stuff like that. Also, self-driving cars is a big topic that a lot of people like to talk about. Self-driving cars is so big because all the drivers experience things that probably don't happen in a lot of car crashes, but it just asks the question on who dies, a pedestrian or a citizen in the other cars, or somebody walking by, somebody riding a bike. These are just challenges we face today in the modern world. We choose to see who is killed or who's not because of AI, artificial intelligence, and the negative of that is it's having to choose one or the other. I believe we could definitely do something else. Keep normal people driving cars, make those decisions themselves. We shouldn't rely on something else to make a decision for us in that circumstance. In one case, we had Ben Taylor. He's a writer for Forbes magazine. He says, "Driver is survivor." What this means to him, what I learned from his perspective, is it's taking the life of somebody else to keep somebody else's life right. But if a normal driver is driving, it could end up with both people not losing their lives, or both people losing their lives. But with artificial intelligence, it's choosing to keep the driver safe and no one else, which could be with multiple cars, and circumstances like that just should not have to be brought up because this is just a complete negative circumstance on how we deal with new technologies. Job loss. For job loss, there's a lot of negative points due to we need workers, we need people to support their families, we need them to support their friends, support their interests, hobbies, and allow them to go do things they want to enjoy or be with their families and feed them, give their kids gifts, presents, be able to support them any way they possibly can and how they choose to. Truck drivers have a 150% churn rate. That's 1.5 times their entire workforce, which it's making truck drivers that they have to keep going. So they need to keep hiring truck drivers because it allows people to have jobs and supply for their families. But through artificial intelligence, we're going to be taking away those jobs eventually with self-driving trucks and objects like that, with the Air Force as well, and how we deal with airplanes and stuff like that. Also, the strategy of utilizing fourth industrial revolution. What this is, it's artificial intelligence. It's the fourth industrial revolution that we're going through right now. We're just at the beginning of it, or at the bottom, so we don't understand everything completely. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with that. Personally, this is not the best thing. Artificial intelligence is not what we should be using. I believe we should find something else and utilize that instead, or at least just teach artificial intelligence better, which I don't see that as a possibility due to the restrictions and how we can't really blame a robot for killing somebody or hurting somebody or making mistakes, so there's no repercussions for them. How do we approach this? Do we allow government to deal with it? Do we allow them to restrict everything we do? Do we allow people to have their own, which they can control or manipulate in any way possible? Do we allow corporations to have their own, which they can be taking from other companies, surveying data on those as well, taking away their information, developing robots that take away jobs within those companies as well. And we support at full speed, which means we completely engulf the idea of we need to enforce AI and to see where it takes us, or do we need to take it slow? We develop as AI is developing as well, which I can see is the best point to me. I believe you should too, because personally I believe we should go slow. Us learn as they learn. We don't want them to have to be coming back on us in any way. Do we allow AI to live on its own? That's a big question as well. We should not allow that to happen, because personally I believe they don't have any repercussions with the law, with anything. They don't have mental like emotions or anything that they can deal with to make them decide certain things. It's basically how they're taught. Or do we let them just do whatever they can? Free roam, allow people to take them, do things like that, manipulate how they see things. The biggest topic to me, or second biggest, is invasion of privacy. We have artificial intelligence watching us at all times. We had Rolling Stone magazines release a project that said, I believe it was Ben Taylor, says it is now possible to track every individual's move. That's through AI and how they can track us and understand everything we do. They can manipulate us in many ways possible. These people are just doing this to track us, and I mean, I know it helps with terrorism in some sorts, but I mean, there's a lot more people than there are terrorists, which is a big deal to me, because I honestly like my privacy. I'm sure a lot of people do like their privacy. So being tracked all the time, facial recognition, things like that can just follow me anywhere I go, I do not fully support. And in conclusion, I'd like to say thank you for listening. I hope you understand now why there's a lot more negatives than there are positives in artificial intelligence. And to reiterate my points is just, you want to be private, you want to be safe, not be tracked your whole life. You want to make your own decisions. Do you want to allow other people to make decisions for you? Or do you want to have a good life and experience a job and be able to understand how you live your own life? Thank you.